Hello, everybody, and welcome to AI Academy. We're going to give another minute for everybody to join in, and then we'll get started. All right, let's get started, everybody. So welcome to AI Academy. As always, before we start, we're going to share the safe harbor notice with you. So everything we cover in those sessions is related to our existing capabilities that you can already use in the product. But in case we make forward-looking statements or talk about the roadmap, please follow the safe harbor notice and always check back with your account team before making a purchasing decision. In addition to the session today, we have a few additional resources available for you. We have a generative AI and intelligence community forum that you can access with a simple link, sn.works/AI. On this forum, you have a lot of articles and a lively community that ask and answer a lot of questions around our generative AI and intelligence product. So we highly recommend going to that site. In addition to that, on the right side, we have a few links for specific content related to today's session that we also encourage you to check out. This session is recorded and then posted on our Now Community YouTube channel, where you can also find a lot of recordings from other academies. If you are new to AI Academy, what's an academy? It's content that we bring for you. We bring you fresh ideas to give you better understanding and practical guidance on our AI products. As I mentioned, this session is recorded and then posted publicly on our YouTube channel. But if you are here with us today, especially on that specific session today, we encourage you to ask your questions. And for that, we ask you to use the Q&A panel on the Zoom interface to ask your questions, and we'll answer them. Today, we're going to start with a quick overview, and then we're going to have your questions answered. Today's specific session, Ask the Experts, and we're going to spend about 20 minutes answering your questions, and then save some time at the end for a wrap-up. And today, specifically, we're going to talk about AI search with Now Assist in AI search, and we have a panel of experts that are here to answer your questions. And with that, I will hand it over to Sean to drive the session today. If you're talking, you're on mute.
Thank you. Thanks, Loic. Appreciate that. Good morning, everyone. Good evening, wherever you are in the world. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to join us on this Ask the Experts session. We have an exciting agenda today. But before we dig into answering questions, we will go through a couple of slides that just set the scene, just to remind ourselves as to what we have today with AI search and what we call Now Assist in AI search. So for those in the audience that are new to ServiceNow and the Now platform, the ServiceNow platform helps customers automate and orchestrate key tasks across the enterprise, serving as the foundation for all workflows. It's become increasingly clear that businesses must embrace intelligent solutions to drive operational efficiency, while at the same time improving employee and customer satisfaction. AI search delivers a consumer-grade search experience to employees and customers and empowers them with self-service answers to actionable information. ServiceNow continues to drive platform innovation and information retrieval and question answering. While Zing Search has been an integral platform search capability for many years, it lacks language intelligence needed for highly relevant search results. AI search uses a combination of natural language understanding and machine learning to identify user intent, to deliver always relevant results that users can act on right from within the search results window. Powered by the ServiceNow Search Q&A LLM, Now Assist in AI search uses retrieval augmented generation to generate concise, actionable answers from the most relevant AI search results. This is AI search with next level understanding, that doesn't require retraining of the model. AI search is now enabled as the default search engine in the ServiceNow platform. It provides a personalized and consistent experience across desktop, web, and mobile, and uses your existing service catalog, knowledge base articles, and now platform data to quickly deliver the most accurate and relevant results anytime and anywhere. Search relevancy is automatically tuned by leveraging machine learning to help learn users' behavior and predict the best answers. So with that brief overview, let's dig into some of the key differences between AI search and Now Assistant AI search. Will, is this something you'd like to take on for us? Maybe just talk through what you're seeing from customers and how we're positioning the two platforms.
Yeah, absolutely. I can definitely talk about that. So when it comes to the previous AI search implementation, the AI search, obviously it's able to retrieve documents from a variety of different tables in ServiceNow, et cetera. It's able to offer us this modern search UI, suggested content. It offers the standard Q&A Genius result. It does have the multi-attachment view, and then it also opens results in new tabs. When we bring Now Assist into the picture, however, the main difference that happens is that we go from the Now Assist Q&A Genius result, or we go from the legacy Q&A Genius result, which is really just an extract of text from an article, to a Now Assist Q&A Genius result. And so what this means is that the Now LLM is actually looking at the article and the user's query and attempting to answer the user's query based on the article. So some great examples of where this might be able to help a user is if you have like a table that's embedded in an article, Now Assist would be able to read through that table and possibly be able to give an answer to a user instead of just presenting them a table like the legacy Q&A would be able to. The Now Assistant search would actually be able to give that conversational answer. So that's really the difference here, is that Now Assistant search is able to answer that user question and also provide, of course, that actionable Q&A Genius result card.
Very exciting. I mentioned earlier about machine learning relevancy. So Seamus, you're on the call. Can you maybe give us some more insights into how that works?
Absolutely, happy to. So if we look here, what we're actually looking at is our out-of-the-box relevancy model and the features. So what's measured and what's important. And we start by splitting these features actually into two categories for the AI search relevancy. The first category is really based on a match. So a match to the query itself, meaning specific terms, words, or synonyms from the user query compared against the fields actually indicated here. The other category is really the idea of a characteristic. So things that are independent of matches on the specific article. The characteristics would be article freshness, or how recently it was created or updated. And the other out-of-the-box characteristic is popularity. So how often the specific article is viewed or used based off of view and use count. Generally, these last two would be considered sort of tiebreakers unless there's a really significant difference in the value between articles. So actually sort of taking a step back and looking at the table overall, these features are actually shown in order of importance to the relevancy model. So there's a substantial weight applied to really a KB article number, sort of an exact match there, assuming you don't have exact match turned off. And then from there, the other features are given weights sort of decreasing in magnitude. So these features are actually what make up the relevancy model and are used to re-rank the organic search results. And over time, this model actually evolves based on user behavior, that user behavior being clicks on the search results themselves. So that will actually influence and allow the model to evolve and change the weights of these particular features and actually potentially add additional features to the model based on that user interaction or user behavior. So this is what is actually used to surface those knowledge articles to potentially answer a Q&A or a question based on that and provide an answer for the Q&A Genius result.
Very interesting. And so how does this machine learning relevancy from AI search work in tandem with Now Assist in AI search?
another good question for sure. And we have sort of a flow here that indicates basically that process. So we obviously have a search execution and the retrieval of that top KB article. And that top KB article is actually surfaced using that machine relevancy model that I just sort of spoke to. The first thing that happens is it will actually check a multi-level cache for looking to see if a similar question has already been asked and potentially just respond with that cached genus result. If not, what happens is based on that that request and the top KB article, that actually gets submitted to the Now LLM to surface an answer if possible. If it does find an answer, obviously, it will store that in the cache to improve performance on subsequent requests of similar a similar question, and then it obviously update the logs to indicate that that has been surfaced appropriately, and then merge that into our search results to be displayed in whatever experience you have configured, whether that be one of your portal experiences or VA.
Yeah, that's great. And so I'm wondering, do you have any examples of how big a difference the performance is with and without the cache turned on?
So yeah, so there's certainly a significant difference there. Our request to the Now LLM will take some period of time, but with that cache turned on, you're going to get responses in less than 2 seconds in your result set.
Terrific. Will, how about you? How are you seeing customer adoption and feedback, and what sort of insights do you have from performance in the field?
Yeah, absolutely. So working with a couple different large customers, they're seeing some really great performance. I have a couple that are doing some very large scale testing, and we've been seeing everything from the Now Assistant search being able to quote links in context, so bring them right into the answer, to being able to embed images, or even being able to process and retrieve answers from tables. So really, it's a much higher rate of occurrence. So you're going to see this happen much more often than the legacy Q&A genius result. And you're going to see a much more intelligent answer when this does get one.
Very cool. Some exciting stuff there. I look forward to learning more about those, hopefully in a case study or two. So let's switch gears now. One of the common questions we get, and maybe this one will go to Tricia, is how does Virtual Agent use AI search?
Thanks, Sean. Well, so I work with just AI search in the virtual agent, not even Now Assist. So these are some of the quick tips that I share with my customers. And so for the recording, this is a quick snapshot of the slides we're going to go through. First, your AI search configuration is not the same as the portal in which you are surfacing the virtual agent chatbot. So that's key. You can have a separate configuration from your portal. So if you're expecting the same results, you'll want to look at the configuration for that. Secondly, the virtual agent goes through a search sequence against the automation topics before it hits AI search. So it's going to assess the user's utterance against NLU or keyword based searching for the automation topics. And then when there's no match found, then it calls AI search. So that's something to consider, which will review the conversation structure. For AI search specifically, there's a hierarchy to the search applications that are used in a configuration. So if you could go back one slide to the summary, and I'll come back to this, you can incorporate AI search into a topic block. AI search can be part of your fallback, and that's specific to your app configuration, but that's based on your conversational experience. There's a hierarchy there. I'm going to show you the gotcha in a moment. So conversation structure is key to a successful AI search. So when you think about how you're searching in your virtual agent, you want to think about the topic elements, AI search fallback, and calling fallback. Now, I covered this in a June 27th, 2023 VA Academy that I really delve into it. The thing I want to leave you with is that content is different from display. And I've done a search on how many of our customers have activated the plugin Advanced AI Search Management Tools, and it's not the same. So if you're struggling with content, I'm going to show you how to use Search Preview to see if you're surfacing the result you want to see. If you get it there in your Search Preview, but it's not displaying, that's something that we're going to address in the search configuration. So let's see what this all is. Let's go to the next slide. So this is a brief snapshot of the conversation structure. As I was saying, we're going to go through your purpose topics. That's those topics in the blue: update equipment, reset password, manage meetings. That's going to, your utterance when you launch the virtual agent chatbot is going to be matched against the keywords for that topic or your NLU intent. If there's no match found, then it will go into fallback. And fallback is two pieces: AI search fallback, which I break into content, and then fallback actions. And so understanding the relationship of all these topics in your conversation structure is going to be really helpful. Okay, let's go forward. The conversational experience brings those topics together. And so if you're newer to the virtual agent, this is helpful to know. Your conversational experience can be unique across portals, device types, and we centralize all that configuration here in your custom greetings and setup. And so here in my custom greetings and setup, I can have a unique experience for my HR portal, and that can be different from my phone experience where I'm integrating virtual agent with my IVR. And then I have a catch-all, which is the default chat experience. There's more to it than I can cover in this section today, but here's your takeaway. This happens in sequence. So HR ESC experience is going to hit all those conversation topics, including AI search fallback, is going to hit before, say, my phone experience. And what you want to be aware of is if you can advance, there's an animation. So if you hit the next slide, it should advance. There should be animation that highlights. There you go. So this guy is going to hit first. Let's go ahead and advance this again. Can I do this? If you advance one more, there's, okay. So this is an example of this HR ESC experience could actually be catching everything inadvertently. I'm looking at the portal is ESC, or, and that's the key here, or the device type is the web, Teams channel, Slack channel. And what that means is it's not specific to just my ESC portal. It's actually catching everything. So something you want to be aware of, if your search is not working the way you expect, check your conversational experience and check your sequence. It might be hitting another search mapping. Let's advance to the next slide.
Yeah, so Tricia, so one of the common questions we get, and you alluded to this earlier, is, how do I test my AI search configurations?
Sure. Okay. This is where I think this is a great tool to use just for testing content. This is the Search Preview. It's an additional plugin available from the store, and it's called Advanced AI Search Management Tools. You can tell if you have it if you go to your menu navigator and you look for Search Preview. If you do not see Search Preview, you don't have this plugin. Go ahead and grab this. What this gives you is in the lower window, you can see a way to test against your search profile. Now, in AI search, the search application tied to your conversational experience search mapping or your portal search mapping is actually associated to the content in the search profile. So your search profile here in AI Search Preview allows you to see all your sources, your scores, how your results rank against each other. And the panel on the right will show you your stop words, your synonyms, any sort of rules like your results improvement rules or your boost considerations that are in play. This will be really helpful for you to understand how the platform surfaced the result it surfaced. What we're going for, see the genius result right in the middle. When I ask who can get reimbursed for continuing education, I want my genius result to surface. And this is how I can determine how my result was found.
Yeah, this is such a powerful tool. And one of the ways I've used this tool myself is experimenting with the caching that Seamus explained earlier. Running the same query and seeing how fast is the configuration for Now Assist and AI search without caching. And then when you turn caching on and you ask the same question, seeing how much faster that is. So, for all search admins, this really should be their go-to tool, to understand performance and see the impact of any tuning they're doing.
Absolutely.
Great example.
So let's go on to the next slide.
Yeah. So Trish, can you explain the search UI, the EVAM?
No, but I'll give it my best shot. The card, how it displays. So I focus on the content. Like, am I finding my search results? Sean Burton, you had asked a question in the chat. The virtual agent with AI search does not display KB articles, only service catalogs. I would look at my search profile. I would use search preview first. So do your testing there. Use your search profile that's being called from your conversational experience AI search. So you want to make sure you're using the right AI search configuration for the right virtual agent configuration. And then you're going to test it. And if you're not seeing knowledge base and catalog, then that's your search profile that needs to be reviewed for your sources. And your sources need to be indexed. Your search profile needs to be published. And your search preview is going to give you an indication of all that configuration. Now, when we get into the display, when we actually see the result on the portal, or when we see the result in the virtual agent, that's the EVAM cards. That's the search application configuration with your configuration bundle. So there's 2 steps to display. First, sort options. How are we sorting? Are we seeing the most recent search options first? What are our genius results limits? You can set that information in your search application configuration. Tied to this, and I believe this is the next slide, you're going to have your configuration bundle, which is going to be stored as a bundle by experience. So remember, we started my FAQs with, you want to be aware of your conversational experience that's being called. Right now, my HR ESC experience is being called from everything. And my search mapping controls the content, my ESC portal default search application that has my profile, that has my content, my search UI EVAM configuration, where the arrow is, that contains the bundles for the cards that surface the results. So that is, if I'm seeing the results in my search preview, but I'm not seeing it in my output, you'll want to make sure you're in the right conversational experience, and then you're going to want to troubleshoot the card here in this EVAM configuration. That's all I got for the time we have.
Yeah, terrific. That's excellent.
Okay.
So I think that leads us into our final prepared question. Will, can you just talk us through what customers should do in regards to their data to ensure that they're ready to adopt Now Assist?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great question because, as we're bringing generative AI into the system, a lot of people really think that it's just kind of a snap and it's going to be able to fix things, which it very much is, as long as it has good data to reference. So there are many points that we should consider when bringing Gen AI into picture, but one of the most important is quality of our document corpus. So checking that knowledge articles are kept up to date, and that you have good processes around keeping those articles up to date, that tasks have adequate documentation and that agents are interacting on the task or leaving notes on the tasks, etc. All of that is going to be really vital to ensuring that the information leveraged by Gen AI is sound and that there is information to leverage at all. Data grooming and maintenance can really be sure to catch data issues before they become experience issues. Some examples of this in the actual product would include for Now Assistant search. If it were to leverage an article that was out of date, maybe a 5-year-old article that tells the users to do something, now the Now LLM is going to take that as gospel. It's going to say this is the truth, and so it's going to give that answer to a user, and you might get a poor experience if it tells them to do something incorrect. With Now Assist and ITSM, we also see this when we're trying to do summarization or resolution note generation. If we don't have the interactions that an agent is completing and the things they're doing on a ticket, etc., Then when when that ticket is reassigned out to another agent and they try and get a summary, they have to go and ask that person, or they're trying to have Teams chats, all of that. So really, it's all about making sure that you have all of the data that's required in the system, and that it is, up to date and proper, so that when generative AI comes into the picture, it can really plug right into that and leverage it using our very advanced RAG pipeline.
Exciting stuff. Yeah, we're seeing terrific adoption and interest in Now Assist, and Now Assist and AI search really does, take search to the next level. So, I want to thank all my panelists for their time today, helping us just prepare, answers and responses to the most common questions. I can't see the Q&A and chat, but if one of you might just take a peek through there. And are there any questions that have come up that we haven't addressed proactively just yet that we want to touch on in the last 3 minutes?
Yeah, I'm not sure if we have the answer to this one, but Mark Andropoulos asked, is the cache local to the instance, or is it part of shared infrastructure?
Seamus, is that something that you have insights into?
So there's multi-level cache, and I do have to probably follow up to definitively answer it, but it would be the level 1 cache is an in-memory cache, so it would be relative to the instance, and there's an L2 cache, which is for the semantic support on the Q&A Genius results, and that's actually a table, so that would be on the instance as well. But I'll certainly can follow up as well on that.
Great. Is that something that should be asked and answered in the community?
That sounds like a good space for it.
Yep. Is there anything else that stands out for you as good questions to ask and answer in this forum, Will?
Yeah, could you talk really quickly as to the roadmap for being able to use attachments within Now Assist and Search?
As far as I'm aware, we're on track to support attachments in the second half of this year.
That is awesome to hear, and that's all that we have as far as things that haven't been proactively addressed.
Terrific. Well, thank you everyone for your time today. That concludes this session. We hope you will come back for the next AI Academy. Thanks to all my co-presenters.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.